Hi everyone, my name is Marie Byrd, and I want to tell you about an interview I had with Mr. Nestor Gonzalez, who was a former employee at Oklahoma State University. At the university, he was director of the News Bureau and Media Relations Department. I wanted to interview him because, being a communications major, I was curious to know what it was like to work in media relations at a large university, and I wanted to know how he ended up there. I also wanted to find out if he felt he was a born or made leader. So at the beginning of the interview, Mr. Gonzalez told me he worked as a newspaper journalist after graduating from New Mexico State University. He said he enjoyed reporting because um, had something, because every day was different. No, he never knew what to expect, and he got to meet so many interesting people and cover exciting events around town. Over the years, he worked at newspapers in New Mexico, then Texas, and eventually he ended up in Oklahoma. But years later, he says, boredom got the best of him. As a writer, he just grew tired of covering those same events every day and every week. So eventually he applied for a position at Oklahoma State in the president's office. He was offered the job, and there he wrote the annual report for the president, set up news conferences, did research for various talks, wrote speeches and correspondence, and sometimes even wrote scripts for videos for the university. He enjoyed this work. It was very challenging, and he loved working with top leadership in the university. And he also liked being part of the leadership team, and also liked being in the know, knowing what was going on at the university at all times. A few years after that, he was promoted to director for the Media Relations Office, and that proved to be a more challenging and fast-paced role for him. He found that as a former reporter, his skills transferred over easily to this director position, and he also enjoyed working with the media and over the years developed really good relations with them. He was good at pitching positive stories about the university and giving them good publicity. He says he tried to be very honest and transparent about all of the news and information that was coming out of the university, and he believes that the media really respected him for that. In his department, he tried to create a culture of cooperation. He says he led in more of a democratic style, and he liked to offer advice and help based on his experience, but encouraged independent thinking and creativity. He says he tried to let people decide for themselves how best to complete certain projects. And he claims that the best strategy with his team was to give them a challenge and let them come up with creative solutions. In his opinion, his colleagues were typically of the creative mindset and very different from employees in other jobs. They were more independent thinkers and preferred more freedom when working on projects. So he recognized that they couldn't be forced to do anything they didn't want to do. And I think that knowing this and learning how to lead based on their personalities made him a more effective leader in that role. In looking back and reflecting on his career, he says he enjoyed the relationships he had with his team the most. He got to know many people of various leadership and non-leadership levels, different cultures and personalities, and he enjoyed all of those relationships in different ways. He says he treated everyone with kindness and respect, and that made his job a lot easier and more enjoyable because people turned around and did the same, treated him with kindness and respect. So, also he believed that his greatest strength while working there was having high energy, being able to work on last minute projects, handle stress, stressful situations professionally. He had the endurance and ability to get along, and he had the ability to get along with all types of people. He believes that he was not born a leader, but became a leader through hard work and determination, mixed in with a bit of good luck, he says. Having good connections and sometimes being in the right place at the right time can help move a person's career in the right direction. He ended the interview by giving me this piece of advice, which I'll share with you. He tells me that if you are a person who always takes on a challenge, who's willing to take risks and try new things, someone who's flexible and willing to embrace a new idea or vision and help others move forward with you, if you're someone who people can trust and respect, then you will likely end up in a leadership role. He says you will find success. It's as simple as that. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you enjoyed this interview. Good night.